The 1988 to 1995 were very significant years in the history of the Sikh community. Professionals who had got together, right to the Sikh institutions about the concerns, what they could do for upliftment of the community.
14 October 1995 is a very important day in the history of the Sikh community in Singapore.
So the most significant memory that I have of the launch of the Welfare Council was that it wasn't held in a hotel. It was held in a big open space where we had put up a tent, and we had about 1,500 people turning up for this event, and Rear Admiral Teo Chee Han as a guest of honor.
The then chairman of the SIWEC Advisory Board, Sardar Pajan Singh, explained how he and his team of professionals got together to come up with this idea of setting up the Sikh Welfare Council to look into the needs of the community.
Gone around and spent about 2 weeks visiting various people, including the patrons and donors. And each one of them was very keen, very enthusiastic to donate. So we had no difficulty in raising the 1.7 million.
Beginnings in prison counselling go back to 1970s. When Sana Sikhs were invited to go into prisons to address the drug problem among Sikh inmates. The veteran among these 18 is Dr. Kuldeep Singh.
The first place I went to joined a dedicated Sikh group led by Major Singh. This was a small group, about 12 of us.
We got together and I sourced out some volunteers, spoke to them, did a bit of induction. We spoke to the Singapore prison, who was very helpful and cooperative with us. We posted all these volunteers to the various prisons to do regular counselling.
So currently we have a pool of dedicated volunteers, 18 of them, who are actually assisting me in the weekly fortnightly programs in prisons. Our sessions last about 1 to 2 hours.
Today we have 3 Sikh female volunteers. The most senior is Balbir Kaur. She has been with us the time as a volunteer with Sana, continuing on to the current day.
I did my degree in counselling psychology and was looking for a venue where should I counsel, and prisons just struck me. Going to the prison has made me a very outspoken person, and I look forward for this service.
In order for us to get to where we were and to the IPC status, there was a bit of a journey that had to be taken. When we first took over after the transition, SIWEC had only 3 months of operational funds. There was a need to do 2 things, which JJ did drive these objectives. One was to maintain the operational costs by streamlining certain operations, and then also to increase the funds so that the financial situation of SIWEC was up to a certain level where it would meet the IPC requirements.
SIWEC has got wonderful programs to help people out there. Most of us come from a privileged background where education, food, and everything is just taken for granted. So many families out there that need a lot of help from the community.
In Sikh Welfare Council, as a social worker, I cover 3 main areas. My role in family support program involves managing cases and reviewing ongoing support for our beneficiary families.
I'm Surinder Kaur. I've been getting help from Sikh Welfare Council for the past 9 years, and it really helpful to me and to my family.
I started as a part-timer in 2013. As the pool of seniors increased, I was then asked to become a full-time staff in 2017. My visits to the nursing homes were well received by the residents, and they were very happy, excited, and full of joy when they realized that there is somebody coming to visit them. And I've seen them gradually approaching the last lap of their life.
They helped me for 3 years, very happy. They come to visit me.
So I'm also very concerned about the social emotional needs of the children. We took on a full-time education officer to take care of the education of these vulnerable families, and we also extended the program to the Punjabi school.
This was a very good initiative, and I think looking back, I met lots of children, I met a lot of parents, volunteers along the way who have really put in a lot of effort to help these children, and to see them achieve what they thought was impossible is very satisfying.
There is a need to have some programs for the elderly, an organized program where you can get all of them together at one place.
Especially those who were at home most of the time, not doing very much, and they were getting bored and depressed. Our volunteers who had experience in chair yoga and others who had experience in community service.
So when Ranjit Singh asked me to start a program here, I met a group of friends, and together we came up with our program. Our aim was to improve the social, mental and physical well-being of our seniors. We got the whole community involved. We planned activities like gardening, cooking, digital learning, craft work and games. We find our ladies are now our treasure. They contribute to the society. They pass their skills on to others. Skills like PD making, paki and nala knitting and cooking skills. We have tapped on their cooking skills and came up with a recipe book.
The initial fundraising was done through Sarbada Pala and Flag Days.
Flag Day teams were sent to all the 5 Punjabi school centres, and they were distributed to all the hundreds of students who went out collecting donations from the public. And then all the teams will then come out to our centre place where we will all then do the calculation with the machines as a whole team of volunteers doing it.
The bereavement service particularly taken out of our IPC activity and treated as a non-IPC, because that is something that we only do for the Sikh community.
I have been with Sikh Welfare Volunteering Services over 10 years. Grieving families, I have come to understand the patience and emotions.
This seva from my heart, driving the hearse, helping the families this difficult time, whatever the family may need, I do my best to fulfill whatever they ask for.
In terms of fundraising, in 2014, we started the Ride for Charity event, which is a cycling event from Singapore to Malacca and back. And this was initiated by Manjit Singh Sevia and Manjit Singh Randhawa, and together to start an annual fundraising cycling event, which after a few years evolved into Ride to Serve as it is known today.
So the initiative was set up with CSGB, and CSGB said to refer us to SIWEC, and together, which Amisit Wasan was part of the co-chair. So we worked with the RFC group and we set up the Ride for Charity Malacca cycle trip. It brought about quite a number of benefits. Now, one of the benefits was, of course, fundraising. With the funds that were actually raised by the group itself, there were matching grants, and it was very successful. Young and dynamic group of Sikhs who were interested in doing seva, but in a very different manner, in a sense bringing two sports. Therefore been cycling. A number of them actually joined SIWEC after that. Some of them are still serving with SIWEC today.
We are all like-minded cyclists who have two important goals. One is to have a healthy lifestyle, and second is to raise funds. Everybody came back with good memories. Every year, every one of us look forward to this event that happens usually in March.
Riding gives me the exercise I need to keep healthy, and it also provides me with avenue to meet friends.
Actually, I started riding since 2011, and it was introduced by my nephew when we saw a banner regarding contributing to charity.
One of the key factors for the success of the ride is the event marshals. No other than families, members. Today we are here at Sunlove Activity Centre. Today is Ration Distribution Day for Right to Serve. We support 40 families and 40 school-going kids with ration, monthly ration. What you see that's happening behind me is also food distribution. This happens during special occasions. All these activities that you're seeing is done by the Right to Serve volunteers.
I've been given so much, so I feel it's time that I have the time and I can contribute.
SIWEC initiated a mental health campaign known as TikTok. It was further highlighted by COVID, where the awareness became greater. Already there were concerns about the mental health of certain members of the community. What we would like to see is through this resource kits that we are going to be handing out, the whole community has to become the eyes and ears for these kind of situations. Anybody who needs help will not necessarily pick up a phone and call.
As we approached our major 25-year milestone, the management committee of Sikh Welfare Council felt that it was appropriate to document the history of Sikh Welfare Council over the past 25 years, not so much to glorify the achievements of the institution, but more to recognize the volunteers, the supporters, the financial contributors, the institutions, and our partners who helped build Sikh Welfare Council to what it is today.
Keep up the good work. You guys are angels walking on earth. I think all volunteers who are doing their bit in the concept of selfless service called Seva.
Very good, dedicated volunteers, and I wish to thank all my volunteers. Without volunteers, we will not be able to run all the programs that we are running now.